The children sound the alarms when hostile entities are approaching. It's their job to let everyone know to bear arms and go into battle.
Where the fuck do you live, Toad?
I've told you 100 times I live over there, and he points in the exact direction
I
once
know
again.
you live over there, but it sounds barbaric.
It's quite normal. By the age of 8, I was fighting.
What did you fight when you were 8?
Anything.
Anything? Could you give some examples, perhaps? Tell me about a time when you fought something.
Fuck no, mate. You're right. This sounds pretty traumatic.
Toad the child
mate.
soldier.
There's trauma there. I can see it in your eyes. When you're ready to tell us, mate.
Thank you, Archibald. I appreciate your.
What? No, I can see why everybody dies by the time they're 30. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of friends who all like to play D&D Pretty Boys because apparently it's not fantasy unless everyone's hot. My name is Jamie, and joining me tonight are a group of heroic adventurers. We are a couple of people down. We currently, Ben, who plays Mercy, is taking a quick break today. I think it's Christmas party. And Sai is unwell. Hope she gets better soon. Who is actually here? First of all, Aaron as Toad. Clued as Casimir.
Hey, it's me.
Eski as Pod.
Hello.
Luke as Arvis.
Blood for the blood god, you know the rest.
And joining us as special guest, Atlas. Matt.
I can't believe you said blood for the blood god. You're just saying how you would worship Slanesh.
I don't even know what Slanesh say. Like, sorry.
They're just horny, constantly horny.
I should just purr in that case.
Well, I regret.
Yeah, that's in your intro.
Before we begin, do we have any announcements? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Merry Christmas, almost.
Almost.
Soon is the season. Sleigh bells, something.
Sleigh bells ringing.
That's all I got.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're good to start. So to get everyone up to speed on last week, there was a brief combat session as you guys prepared for your as you guys went beneath an ancient temple to Talos, the Lord of Storms, to rescue your party members. You fought, realizing that you were up against Corin, some monks, and also Adaxol, a member of Mercy's order, his handler, actually, who you'd had several chats with recently. Upon that, you guys managed to defeat them, but Adaxol collapsed the caves behind you, and it took an agreement with Talos to unleash a storm at some point of choosing between Casimir and Talos before he called you all into clouds and allowed you to escape and leave up through the temple. You were all returned to a normal state of being upon exiting the temple, and you are having your long rest. So the session will begin with you all kind of waking up with about a day's travel to get back, under the assumption that Razor is going to be arriving in about 2 days from this point. So by the time you get back, it will be another day. So you have a day of preparation. You do have several things on your mind. You do have Reedholme, who is pretending to be Arvis. So you need to get back, let Malik know you know about Arvis, or at least, plan there. What is the plan? Now you know Malik's gunpowder plot. And what are you going to do about Razor and the events of what has happened? One thing I will say is that Mercy has disappeared in the night. They have left a note letting you know that this is far beyond their abilities and their rank, and they have left to find help from those in their order who aren't traitors. They will return, but at this point, with Lilith's involvement, with Anduxel being a traitor, they simply cannot consciously stay here. You'll wait to that note, whoever so does. And that, D&D Boyband, is where we'll zone in on you guys waking up middle of the day, having had a very long night, bleary-eyed, bound or pacted to one god, at least for one deal.
Okay, to be clear on the terms of our deal, yeah? He is
Yes.
gonna he helped us pursue Razor, right? But he's also gonna help us smite our foes. Yeah, I did.
I don't know if he agreed to that
I
part.
know,
I think we might have
well,
imagined
I
that.
just said that and said I will do it if you do this, and then he was like, "Yeah, bitch, whatever." I don't know how deal making with gods works.
Who knows?
Oh,
Yeah, I would definitely advise passing that scroll to somebody, less bounded to chaos gods. But do with it what you will. But that's just my thoughts on it.
okay, so it's the morning, yeah?
Yes. Morning, everybody
Who
wakes up.
actually sleeps in this party? I sleep. I sleep.
Most of us don't.
You sleep, right?
No, I sleep. What sleeps? Atlas? Does Atlas sleep?
Pod definitely sleeps.
I don't think I have light activity. I don't think I was probably just kind of dozing, but not really asleep for the evening.
Well, Casimir being an obnoxious 6 a.m. riser probably finds the note and eye rolls at it heavily. And whoever is first awake, he'll probably make some comment to the effect of, Mercy's gotten scared, blown off. I don't know whether you ought to expect them back for the throwdown with Razor or not.
Scared? Scared of what?
Something bigger than us needs support, yada yada yada.
Huh?
I don't really understand. If something's bigger than you, why don't you just rise to meet it? Anyway, we won't have them.
Well, not everyone can grow their tool. It's not their fault.
It's the size of person, Pod. You grow as a person. In
Oh,
strength.
I get it now. My mistake.
I do suspect Mercy could probably grow quite physically large, being a gremlin of some description that seems to be able to change shape.
I believe they're called changelings.
Do we know that officially?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I might need to retcon that sentence. Jamie, do I know that officially? I don't know that officially, but...
Do we know that officially?
You know that you've seen them change height slightly, but not like they couldn't go
Is it
giant size.
change face how many times now? So it's in...
Do we feel like at this point, would we know what a changeling is, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I roll the knowledge on general ability things that can change? I don't know. I guess I would have travelled around quite a bit, so I might know.
Yeah, some things are absolutely capable of changing their form. Whether or not that's usual.
Of
it's
that
not
list,
usual.
what is there? There's obviously there's doppelgangers, changelings.
Shapeshifters, some creatures from... In terms of like normal races, yeah, changelings, which are... You aren't aware of many, or even you would never have met any. They are kind of legends. It's
Okay, I'm
odd.
gonna retcon that.
You would all probably have assumed that for a while that Mercy is probably doing this via magic rather than actually changing their shape.
Yeah, so I guess I'll retcon that and just yeah. Paul would have said something along the lines of the various things he knew that could change form, including magic. He's one of those, probably.
You have a lot of
Loose.
people in your group that change their form, like the one who left and that the little one over there still kind of asleep.
Grudel, I don't think he meant to change his form. I don't think that was his choice.
Rudel was somewhat under duress, I think. Toad, you can change your form. You can be all sorts of fun.
Well, not as often as Mercy does.
Be cats and things.
Well,
I could disguise myself once or twice.
out of character question,
Mhm.
what's the current state of Arvis? I thought we ended the last session with him still being kidnapped.
He is
Yes,
still kidnapped, yeah.
And is Grudel still with us right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Seems so.
And
it
is
still
he-
happening?
Is he still disguised to look like Arvis? Or do we know that Arvis is missing? Has this been communicated to Toad? I don't know.
Yeah, we told Toad this, yeah. So you know that Arvis is missing. You know that we've got Grudel with us. That we need. Also, I think we told you that Malik's planning to blow up the town. So we need to like hightail back to the town now that we're rested and resolve all that.
Need a hoof it.
Yeah, Huffin.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess if everyone's awake, I'll just say, well, now that people are feeling well after that encounter in the temple and becoming gas and making terrible pacts with terrible gods, should we get moving to Reedholme?
Look, I object to that. If I didn't make that pact, we could have been stuck in that temple for days and would have missed a chance at Razor and gotten all our friends killed. So, depending on the outcome of it, I'll prematurely call Worth. Maybe. Please stop Talos from doing anything terrible through me as his agent. I do.
Well, I'll try. But yeah, it might not even be in the next day. It might not be in the next year. It might be in 5 years. It's hard to say. Gods have different timelines.
Well, if it's 5 years, I'll have figured out how to break the pact. No problem.
I'm sure that'll go swimmingly. But
Me too.
shall we?
Yes.
If everyone's ready, shall we head off back to Reedholme?
Yes. Well, I guess we're kind of speedy about this one, and maybe to you might tell them to stay out of sight unless. Yeah, just in case you want to play the old harvest is actually brutal kind of thing when we get him back. We probably don't want Malik to know that we know about Grudel.
Grudel doesn't have a way of telling Malik about the situation, does he? Grudel, you don't have a way of telling Malik about the situation. Well, we can Grudel if he's awake.
No. No.
Incite that motherfucker. Come on, someone.
He's level 2. I trust him implicitly. He's weak.
I mean, I've known him as long as I've known you guys, essentially. So I I don't have any reason not to trust him.
Grudel, do you think there's any way you can stay out of sight when we get back to town?
Yes, I'm sure. I can be very sneaky.
Malik not knowing that we know about you and etc. might be an ace in the hole, as it were.
Well, I don't know if I want to upset him.
Well, I also imagine you don't want him to blow up a town full of innocent civilians either, so...
No, he was going to make them leave, but
Well, we'll confront him about it. Anyway, yes. We roaming, we going.
Yeah. We schmoovin'.
Traveling. What we rolling? Do we know our way back, Dan?
you guys...
I brought us here, right?
Yeah. You brought you here, you might be able to find the way back.
Okay.
So I'm going to say one survival roll. See how you do.
I will do that.
Nice.
Yeah, 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, with that, you manage to find your way back fairly soon. You arrive on the outskirts of Reedholme with the light beginning to fade into night, and as you're beginning to come through the swamp, cresting your way, you're feeling very tired. It has been a long trudge. It's been a disturbed night before. You were up most of the night, and as kind of whatever few windows and glimpses leave it, it isn't much of a village, isn't much of home, but it certainly feels like comfort. As you're aware, you're probably going to be able to sleep in a bed tonight, probably inside the Church of Temple of Death, unless, of course, you manage to annoy Malik enough that you will start a fight. So, arriving on the edge of town, how do you go about hiding Grudel? What's going on?
Well, I assume we can just find a box for Grudel or something. He can find himself a box. He's an independent individual.
I was gonna suggest a sack, but a box might be good as well.
Hey, we can hide you in our room if you want, Grudel. You'll need to get through the church. know, you're capable of independent thought.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Is this the church that's currently sitting on top of several tons of gunpowder?
It is, yes.
Maybe we want to do something about that. Maybe if we... Well, I'm not sure exactly when Razor will be arriving. Hopefully it's 2 days if we're lucky, but I don't want us to be in town when Malik decides to spring his trap.
No, well, I think our priority list has to look something like find Arthur, save him, Zul, and put him in prison, is it? Confront Malik about the trap, or maybe we just disarm it, maybe we just wet his barrels so they can't be ignited. We have options, but I think our first port of call must be to find Arthur's note, our companion, our compatriot. We hasten to find mercy and do it. Same for others.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the one that Grudel looked like before, but he's been taken by someone.
Maybe we act casual. We pretend Arvis is just outside for a smoke. We don't know about Grudel yet. If anyone sees us, we'll say, "Oh, it all went fine. Look, we got towed back. No problem. All is well." At least smuggle Grudel into our room.
Well, where is Malik and his cronies staying?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Fuck it, let's go in.
Fuck it.
Talking of ballers,
Yes.
I know so little about Atlas. Somebody give me a little zhuzh.
I am a somewhat undead Goliath. I was victim to Razor's blood magic. And yeah, I'm kind of wearing piecemeal leather armor and padded gambesons with several mortal wounds underneath. But I've got a long, kind of a black mohawk going on that runs down the back into a long ponytail.
Cool. It's like a Dampier barbarian vibe. Like, what's the
Reborn lineage.
Reedholme?
And I have a little bronze dragon sitting on my shoulder. And I'll actually have Lady Lanaya go and just fly over towards Toad and sit on Toad's shoulder.
Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry, my Miss Lanaya has taken a liking to you. She says that your the mushrooms growing out of you remind her of trees she used to nestle in.
Don't worry,
That's
it's not a bird.
nice. Oh, okay. That's what I was about to ask. This isn't a bird, is it? Because it has wings and
Oh no, it's
claws
a
and
it's a
long beak.
no, it's a dragon. It's you've seen it.
A
You've seen a
what?
dragon?
No,
Dragon leap.
dragons are
haven't-
like birds, aren't they? They fly in the sky and they've got wings and they've got beaks and claws. And can you get it off me?
Oh,
and he
yeah.
tries to shove it off
Yeah,
his
some
shoulder.
evolutionary scientists do posit that dragons and birds may be distantly related, so you might not be so
Exactly
far
what
off
I was
on that
thinking.
one.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I'll have Lanaya come back. Sorry, I didn't know you weren't a fan of birds. They're probably more like snakes with wings and legs and can breathe lightning.
Oh, lizards are fine. I just don't like things that fly. It's just not right. It's just
Right.
It's just not right. No.
This, I would say, it's probably at this point, Arvis, you will find the others having this conversation as you have made your escape.
We look
And
so worried about you.
So do I just like stroll out of the church, got all my shit on me, like
However, you would have been attempting to find the party since you've made your escape.
Cool. And they're stood in what kind of terrain?
What would be kind of a swamp forest on the edge of town. Talking quite loudly.
Cool. And so we're actually a little bit away from civilization.
A little bit away from civilization, yes.
Cool. In that case, probably here from a little bit of a way. Well, I'll be damned.
Oh, say something only Arvis would know.
You're a fucking rat, man.
Ah, good. Very good. You're...
What do you mean? Why do you ask?
Well, I assume you've been kidnapped and broken free. Is that what's going on? We were getting ready to rescue you, but you're fine. Good.
Mate, where's the fuck where's you, guys? You've left me for dead, mate.
So, funny story. We didn't actually realise you were missing because Grudel pretended to be you quite convincingly. Up until he really wasn't. But we were saving Mercy and Toad.
Nah, mate. You're having me on, mate. You're having me on.
No, Grudel, do your Arvis impression. It's good.
No.
Just like you.
Nah. Doesn't say anything like me, mate.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Arvis. I hope you'll forgive me. Gruder looks particularly pathetic.
Well, you got bigger things to worry about than that, mate. Of course, we have you captured. And the day's numbered.
Do you? But I've been so much help.
I thought we were saying you were going to make him part of the team.
Yes, I heard that too.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea. I've been saying that we should do this for a long time, even before I got kidnapped.
It's true, actually.
So it was your idea, Toad, that we would take the enemy, or at least our rivals, under our own wing as some sort of pet or companion?
No, I just think that he could be our friend. We hit it off at the dinner the other day.
Arvis looks over Grudel.
Isn't that right? And he turns to Grudel with a big smile on his face.
Yes, I think so.
We are friends, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes it seems like we are, and other times it seems like one of you wanted to kill me, so I'm
gonna
getting a little bit of
lean towards
whiplash.
Grudel and be like, if you don't tell Toad that you're his friend, he'll decompose you on the spot. Just a word.
Yep, friends, best friends.
And Arvis goes over to Grudel and leans in,
and
and he comes in, and a hot breath of rancid breath comes over Grudel's face. And Arvis goes, how do we know?
He did almost
How
die.
do we know you're not a little spy? Still, you came spying once. Who says you're not spying twice?
Well, I
He
mean,
did
I haven't
almost
been back
die
yet.
fighting Corin as well.
That's adamant-type bonds. A
Yes.
friendship.
Arvis, you should know I have Corin's corpse inside. I'm thinking of creative. Sorry.
Well, it's some bleeding good news, mate. Why don't you start with that?
Well, I thought you might start telling us how you escaped and maybe fill us in if you learned anything. How did you get kidnapped in the first place?
Well, I found my way down by the church over there, and well, let's just say a little something caught my nose, which won't go into detail, but it was something that seemed to have some sort of value and purpose. And while I was poking around, mate, I don't know how it happened, but this bastard got the drop on me, mate.
Where were you poking around? Could you find it again?
Yeah, mate, it's fucking church. Of course I can find it again.
Okay. And Grudel, the explosive barrels, are they distributed anywhere else in the town or just the church currently?
I think, well, Malik brought it down by the boat, and there was a couple under some of the larger buildings, a couple around the town square. We were digging some holes and kind of filled them in, as well as some of them abandoned homes. There were some cellars. I think I can take you to the few I remember.
Okay.
That means we'll probably have to ask Malik about the rest. I'll just look over to Arvis and go, I'm Atlas, by the way. I helped your friends find Toad and Mercy, although Mercy has since gone missing. So Toad.
Right, you do, mate. So you some kind of detective?
Something like that. I'm really just here to, I'm really just here to harm Razor in any way I can, and it seems that you're on a similar path, and I thought we could, align our goals.
Sounds like we could work together. Unlike this one so easily. And he looks back at Riddle again.
I'm just trying my best.
Your best, and he comes in close again. Best, mate. Loyalty is earned, mate. Loyalty is proven.
Yes, I understand.
Casimir looks
Good.
at Grudel, who thought I was the scary one.
You both have threatened to kill me, so
Look, it's hazing. It's a bit of fun. I'm a necromancer. It's what I do.
had enough hazing.
You've got
Right,
friendship as well.
Under threat of decomposition.
I'm kidding. I mean, Toad can decompose you on the spot, but he won't because he is a good person and quite friendly.
Is this being said in front of Toad?
Yes.
Oh, I can't actually decompose you on the spot.
Really?
That's a complete falsehood. Well, yes, it takes quite a long time.
Oh, I assumed you could just sort of do it. Really?
Well, to plants, yes, but as far as I'm aware, young Grindelwald is not actually a plant.
I mistook him for a turnip, so.
It's screwed up.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm not a turnip.
Grindelwald's
Mate.
turnip.
You listen here, mate. You're whatever the fuck we tell you are. All right.
I didn't know this group had a Malik too.
Look, let
You're-
Arvis get his fun in. He's been apprehended by Fazul, which is really a fate worse than death, so.
He is a tabaxi, just like Malik.
Oh yeah, what is it, a tabaxi thing, like, they have to kill each other? Is it there can be only one, but for tabaxis?
Is that true?
I
Oh,
don't-
looks
I-
to
I don't know.
Arvis. Is
Oh,
it a
no, mate,
territory thing?
Oh, no, mate. No, nothing about it. But all I'd say is it sounds like a good story. I think you should maybe think about writing that up and becoming some sort of bard poet.
Well, you are I've been told Malik is a cat, and you are, a
Stand up fucking bloke, mate.
yeah, and also a rat.
Salt of the earth bloke, mate. He just
Yeah.
keeps cutting in before you can just finish this thing. But yeah, nah, mate. Sort of reputation, mate. Yeah. Something of a carpenter, fixer, joiner,
Well, anyway, since you've escaped, Arvis, I imagine Zul will be on his way to inform Malik of the fact he has yet again failed him in a task distributed by Malik. So we should probably, if we intend to pull any fast ones over on Malik, do it quickly. Or maybe just go ahead and disable his barrels. I'm not sure. Do we trust Malik enough to just confront him and tell him that blowing up civilians is not acceptable behaviour, or...
That sounds like a very smooth-brained idea, I believe. Which is why you've not suggested it, which is why I'm not criticising you, mate. All right? I'm not criticising you. All I'm saying is,
smooth-brained.
this idea that it's fucking stupid, all right?
Why would that be How could your brain be smooth? I don't understand. What a
You've-
strange kind of phrase.
You ever seen a brain, mate? I'm sure
Of
you
course,
would
I've
have seen
seen
a
a brain.
brain.
I've seen countless brains.
Oh, yeah. You've seen
Why have
these
you seen
smooth
so
ones.
many brains?
Because the source of my ability revolves around dead bodies of others.
I forget.
So that's a no to confronting Malik. Are we just going to go and disable his barrels?
Well, listen, we can disable his barrels first. I will take some samples for testing, of course, in the spirit of research and development. And beyond that, we should then confront him.
All right.
Or, well, we don't have to confront him at all, do we? Depends what we think we can get out of the poor bastard by pulling a fast one on him.
There's a chance that his barrels are actually quite useful, so maybe we disable them for the time being, confront him so we can't do anything silly on when discovered. Go from there. Freewheel it.
I don't think we
Well-
should be so greedy. I mean, even if Arvis does want some, what is it? Explosive powder?
Ah, mate, I don't know. You know, it's just a spirit investigation, just working out what everything
Well-
is.
In that case, we don't need the barrels. We just destroy them. Maybe you can keep a little bit of one if you're that curious.
Yeah. Oh, we'll work out the ratios. I'm sure at the time.
I mean, do we have a way to quickly ruin several tons worth of explosive powder? I don't.
I'll get in
I thought you said
Yeah.
something about making them wet, and then they
Aye.
won't light.
If we dampen them,
Hey, what do you mean?
wet barrels won't explode, no? Will they? I don't know. So he
Barrels
doesn't know.
don't tend to explode very often, but depending on the contents, of course, it's another story, mate. So, you got to be aware that some things out there that go boom don't always need a flame to do so. Could even be water.
True. Well, maybe you lead ahead to where you were kidnapped. We'll do what we can to at least disable those and go from there.
And if that Fazul is there, maybe we can, I don't know, jump him.
I'm going to tell him he's not a very good guard, for starters.
Hmm.
That's a good question. DM, how much would I know about these substances in the basement?
You were disappointed. You obviously got a whiff of something you've been looking for, and whilst you found traces of it, you know, most of it was fairly regular gunpowder, like powder. There was some mixed in though, which you are now suspicious about its origin, where it came from.
Yeah. Oh, truth be told, having been down there and seen some of the produce in those barrels, it's a bit of a concoction of a few things. So my nose tells me. And it is possible that with the quantities of high quality, mid quality, and low quality produce, let's say, that may be making the substances wet might actually do the trick for the large part.
Great. Do we have those capabilities? Can anyone create water? Are we going to need to find it and bring it down in buckets?
I can.
Great. Good. So let's go make it rain on Malik's barrels.
So DM, just check all of us here in the party except for Mercy.
Yeah, Mercy and Ilara.
Oh, Alara. Maybe we should tell Alara what we're doing. Nah.
Well, she's
It's
your
not
leader, is she
important.
not?
Why did we leave Alara behind?
You decided it was not a good idea to bring her.
The leader
probably-
you are, Skitless, I'd say Lara's more of a spokesperson.
She told me she was your leader.
And that's exactly what you say I told you when you asked.
I'm confused.
Well, if she
You said Alara was nice.
Where
Yes.
is it? So where did we leave her?
She went back to the church.
It's
Oh, okay. Oh,
terribly
yeah.
nice, Groodle. That's the problem.
I think for starters we go inside and then we'll just, probably just wing it from there. I'm sure someone will get punched.
Sounds about how everything we do goes.
I do like the sound of having an opportunity to make my gratitude known.
For the hospitality they've shown. Right. Oh, but so it comes to it. Can you pretend to be Groodle pretending to be you?
Groodle.
I mean,
I like that idea.
do you want me to
Yes,
pretend to
maybe.
be Arvis pretending to be me? Oh, sorry.
No,
Arvis
you
pretends to be
wouldn't have
Groodle
to do
pretending
it.
to be me. So what do I do?
You hide.
Nothing.
You
Oh.
would hide. Yes.
Raid Alara's hair. Maybe you can hear some songs.
I can do one of those things.
Do you not know how to braid hair?
No.
I shall refrain from commenting. Let's go to the barrels and go from there.
So, on your way, which barrels do you go to first? The one under the church or the one scattered throughout the town?
Maybe the scattered ones, I'd say.
Scattered and then church, because they're likely to be at the church, right? So, get out of the way. Right, we go
Hey.
fuck up barrels.
Cool. Yeah. Making your way through the town, it is fairly scattered around. There's some by the fish market, for example, the watchtowers, a few of the abandoned buildings. There's quite a substantial amount of these kind of powdered, black powder things. And each one you peel off the lid. None of them seem to be being guarded. Groodle kind of shows you which ones he knows. Toad creates water on all of them, leaving them fairly soaked. Anything else you were doing to any of them?
I'd probably look to acquire some of the contents of these barrels for my own inventory purposes.
Rude. If you would like to, however much you reasonably think you can carry / would take.
I would like to fill a couple of pouches if it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. How many pouches would you want to have?
That's a different question. How many would I want to have?
How many can you have?
I mean, how big is one? Like the size of a tennis ball? Like,
Yeah. I would say that, yeah, you can probably get... Why don't we say 5? 5 pouches. If ignited and thrown, they would do 3d6 damage.
a nice standard bomb. Is it like a dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
Marvelous.
Each one of these is probably worth... How much is it? They're worth about 8 gold pieces each?
Okay. Would it make sense to me to just add bombs to my inventory?
You could add bombs. It can, obviously you can use it for materials for making the bombs. I know you want to make at some point as well.
Okay. Blasting powder.
Mhm.
That should do the trick. All right, thank you.
Okay. So, is there anywhere else you're stopping off in town, or are you then going back to the church to confront Malik?
Back to the church, I think.
Just going around town. Are there? I know it's quite late, but are there people around? Like they haven't been told to.
No, I mean it's
evacuate,
dusk,
right?
it's evening.
Yeah.
There are obviously people on watch. Like you're known throughout the town, as is the group. Like so it's not like you're stopped or anything, but there are a few people who are left that hovering around. Some are in the tavern. Some are still kind of tying up their fishing nets. Some of the town, the guard are on watch.
Right, so they're kind of none the wiser of barrels or expect Razor appearing in a couple of days, it seems like.
It seems to have been kept secret
Right, okay.
for now, at least.
Hmm.
Certainly, it wasn't. Certainly, Malik even told him. And unless you told anybody what you were doing, nobody noticed.
What time is it?
9, 10? Especially by the time you've done all of this.
DM, in fact, in the spirit of this and the spirit of science, spirit of alchemy, I would like to, in a relatively quickly, back alley, whatever, take a small bit of that powder, place it onto stone ground, pour some water onto it, and try to light it with my tinderbox to see if it will light when wet.
The faintest fart of an explosion.
And
A
so,
tiny little flicker.
So what we're saying is that it still was flammable while wet, or was it spoiled, or was it
Well, like a tiny bit of it that wasn't wet kind of almost exploded a little bit, but not really.
fizz?
Casimir looks
I
down
thought
at
you
that
were
with a
about to
smile, sort of says, they'll need to dry those out. Which there may be time for should Malik prove to be non-psychopathic and is at least they're disabled for now.
I thought you were about to do a line of gunpowder.
And you do see others stand up sniffing. And going, like, it's one for you if you want, mate.
Oh, boss, thank you. It's a little bit spicy for me.
Well, you can always gum it. Rule number 1: never get fly off one's own supply.
This is Malik's, not
Is that a term you learned in your carpeting?
Absolutely, mate. You know that timber. If you're going to sell timber, if you're going to move timber, you can't be using timber.
Oh, I guess it makes sense.
right. Church barrels, man himself.
Okay. On the way back, you make your way to where both Grudel and Arvis point out the cellar underneath the Church of Geb, and you open it up, and it is completely empty. There are no barrels there whatsoever. There is the ropes that held Arvis, you can see them. The rest of it's been cleared out.
Arvis, I assume there were barrels here left.
Sorry, DM, I missed that slightly. Could you just repeat that?
Yeah, so you've gone back to the basement you were in, where you escaped from only an hour or so ago now. Barrels are completely gone.
Well, this throws a set of thieves' tools into the plans we had.
He knows you've escaped. No, it's a straight-up confrontation.
Well,
Prefer it that way.
Fine. Cracks his neck.
well, we could attempt to track down where they've moved the supply to and do something about it.
We could play, sorry for the phrase, cat and mouse over this for a while. Probably easiest just to go straight to the source and speak to Matt about his insane scheme.
Oh, mate, speak. You said speak. What do you think it's going to do? You're going to talk him down? The geezer's got
Well,
tons and tons of the worst kind of bits you could imagine in barrels.
It
mate.
may be that he abandoned his plan to blow up the town when we came to him in good faith and planned to ambush Razor together. That may be the case. Or it may not.
Now take that idea, write it down, pitch it to a publisher of some sorts. But it's surely, mate, you can see how simple this idea is.
They loaded the gunpowder into the city well before we arrived. And before we set up a joint plan, we've discovered his plan and he's gotten uncomfortable about it. But we don't know if he was still planning to execute. He kidnapped you when you discovered the barrels. It was shame. Who knows? But frankly, his plan won't happen if we take him out. They're probably going to speak. Probably the plan. Maybe we'll discover it was all an error. Just a slight miscalculation on his part. Or it's entirely malicious and we'd probably just have to kill him.
Ah, yes, okay.
There are multiple routes this can go, just, I would much rather we were fighting together against Razor.
Well, like I did say, I am looking to get a little bit of my own back.
Yes. Let's aim for it.
Look, I mean, as you said whoever manages to kill Razor or defeat Razor becomes king of the Stormlands, right? Or starts ruling the Stormlands.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that to be Malik? Do you want him to help and have that claim?
I don't think he's going to want to share it, so I do think he's going to try and claim it for himself. We'll have to discredit him. Or get him killed ourselves. We want Alara to be the sole victor. But let's see. We'll get ahead of ourselves.
Well, if we have to kill him, I do want to see Toad decompose someone at speed. So there's that.
You would be waiting quite a long time.
So I've got an eternity to wait.
Oh, well, I guess that's convenient for you, but I'm going to die soon, so I do not.
Soon? How soon?
Well, I was probably meant to die a couple of years ago, so, I'm on borrowed time.
Oh, you must be very blessed then to be alive right now.
I'm nearly 30 years old. It's absolutely awful.
Oh.
Dude, forgive me for asking potentially a sensitive question. Is the nature of what ails you not something we could find a healer for?
I don't think there is any sort of healing for old age.
Old age? You're 30, Toad.
Yes. Ancient.
No, I can relate. When I was in my 30s, my bones would creak. I'd have 2-day hangovers. Not like when I was started getting really bad.
I see you understand.
Who gave you your prognosis, Toad?
No one. It's simply just a fact of life.
That your people die aged 30?
Well, usually much younger.
There must be a curse on you or something, as nobody investigated the source of it. I think an entire community perishes at such a young age.
It's just normal.
That's not normal at all.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh my goodness. You're quite sprightly for such an old age.
I'm 45.
Good lord. Now, Grudel, I don't normally accuse people of telling untruths, but that simply cannot be. You are so small. Surely you would have grown taller by now.
I'm quite tall by the standards of my people.
Wait,
How
does
do you
Toad
know?
think Rudel's a child?
I am the tallest of my 8 siblings.
Are you the
They're all
oldest or
infants.
youngest?
Middle child.
Explains a lot.
You have youngest child energy.
Your Majesty, I think perhaps you might need to help teach our friend how to count, because clearly, unless I'm mistaken, 45 is not possible.
He's probably is 45, Toad. He's just quite small. It's sort of a halfling.
Oh. Wait, he's not a child.
Yes, no. Did you think he was a child, Toad? He's not a child.
Oh.
Did you think you were bringing a child into battle? What's wrong with you?
Well, it's quite normal.
Toad,
You know, I'm close enough now. I'm beginning to rethink this whole switching sides. Malik might be mean, but at the time you've all threatened me. You are apparently in favor of child battles, decomposition.
Good, you're very dramatic, you know.
Why are adventurers also weird?
Well,
I wish I was performing again.
the children sound the alarms when hostile entities are approaching. It's their job to let everyone know to bear arms and go into battle.
Where the fuck do you live, Toad?
I've told you 100 times I live over there, and he points in the exact direction
I
once
know
again.
you live over there, but it sounds barbaric.
It's quite normal.
I'm starting to think
Well-
Google has a point, frankly.
I understand, Toad. We living in the Stormlands as well. We had our children participate in hunting, in warring. It's
Absolutely.
fairly standard.
By the age of 8, I was fighting.
What did you fight when you were 8?
Anything.
Anything? Could you give some examples, perhaps? Tell me about a time when you fought something.
Fuck no, mate. You're right. This sounds pretty traumatic.
I'm not
I'm
sure if I
starting
want
to
to
think
relive
I've got
these
a
memories. It's quite
Quaint upbringing.
Anyway,
Could we not breeze over that one with an
Toad the child
mate.
soldier.
There's trauma there. I can see it in your eyes. When
Right,
you're ready
no,
to tell us, mate.
thank
I
you,
think
Archibald. I appreciate your.
What? No, I can see why everybody dies by the time they're 30.
No,
That makes sense.
There's,
Some do
Is your-
fall in battle.
Is your place constantly at war?
With birds, often.
Damn, that really does explain the bird thing.
birds.
I'm
So
really
when-
sorry. I feel like I've been insensitive.
So
Yeah,
when you were
like
8
No wonder
years
you live
old,
underground, mate.
you fought birds when you were 8, is that right?
Yes.
There are some frightening birds out there.
Absolutely.
Do you mean Aarakocra, or do you mean
big were
like
the
pigeons?
Yes, that is my next question. Are we talking rock or are we talking finch?
Oh well, they were huge, and he like gestures vaguely with his arms.
I've seen similar sized birds. I know your struggles.
people were-
Carry children off.
Well, exactly.
There's
They
war
ate
with rock.
many of my friends.
Goodness, that is traumatizing. I'm so sorry.
It was horrific. Their screams still haunt me to this day.
Thank you for sharing that. That must be painful.
It is. I'd rather not speak on it any further. And
Understandable. Let's move on.
and he turns around.
Have a nice day.
Yes,
Live long and prosper.
Ripe old age of 30.
I'm sure you're all having a wonderful get together. But I thought you'd be quicker inside. Hurry up, please. Malik's voice come out from a window.
Hold on, Malik. We're sharing past traumas. Will you wait?
I'll give you a new one if you don't come inside.
All right. I can go. Come
Fucking
on.
hell. All right. If we have to kill him, we'll kill him. It's fine.
You can probably hear us as we say.
I think he can hear us.
I don't think Hasm's very quiet about it.
You walk in and the other party and Alara is sitting on the table just finishing up dinner. The window's open, having heard most of what you've probably been talking about outside. And Alara just runs over and gives Toad the biggest hug. It's
Oh,
okay.
what's
I'm
this
sorry.
for?
It's going to be okay, Toad. We're here for you.
Thank you. And he gives Alara a little pat on the shoulder.
You see her up and she's a couple of tears coming down her eyes.
Mercy's dead, by the way, Alara, in case you were worried about that.
What happened?
No, I'm kidding. They're fine.
Not dead, they just left.
very funny.
I thought it was.
Well, we're glad you all are back home. And safe. And hello, looks up at Atlas.
Oh yes, hello. Wait, Alara.
Nice to meet you, and I think you've already met, haven't you? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm being crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not
yeah.
unforgettable. He's massive.
No, no, sorry. Wait, hold on, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just glad you all come back, and you've got Toad and well, Mercy's gone, but you rescued them, right?
We did. Yes.
We did, and then they left.
They're
Oh,
on a journey of self-discovery, talking to their fellow cultists about whatever voodoo they preach.
and they're coming back.
Presumably, time unknown. I'm sure they'll send a postcard if it gets too long.
Turns back at the rest of the group who are kind of all just staring at you, with the notable absence of Fazul.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Malik's there, yeah?
Yeah.
So Malik, do you have anything you feel you need to explain to us, perhaps?
Looks over at Reedholme. Nothing I'm sure you haven't pieced together.
I want to check in. Does everybody in this room, and he turns to the rest of the party, are you all aware of what's been going on? Has Malik kept you abreast of his general machinations?
They will kind of look around to each other and nod. Apart from Ilara, obviously.
Great. Good. Glad to know that. Were you planning to blow up the town, Malik, while we were in it? How was this going to work exactly with our co-plan to capture Razor?
Forgive me, Casimir, but you only arrived yesterday morning. We had a plan. Regardless of your intervention, plans change.
And your completely reasonable plan was to blow up the entirety of Reedholme to catch one bandit.
You can call me thorough.
I'd call you desperate. Imagine not having confidence in yourself of apprehending one individual. Feeling
Apprehending? No. Killing.
Well,
Absolutely.
even so, feeling you have to resort to that sort of scale of cataclysm to get that done is a little extreme, isn't it?
Foolish as well.
Insane.
Razor is no idiot, unlike yourself, you flea bag. If she saw an empty town, she wasn't going to waltz in for your silly little explosive trap.
Careful. My methods. Unconventional though they be, and I doubt any of you think they wouldn't have worked, apart from this one.
Just to be clear, Malik, were you going to empty Reedholme, or were you planning on killing all the people here as well?
Empty it, of course.
Mm-hmm. And
What's some huts? A few pieces of wood.
could you explain to me the necessity of having others captured? Surely we could have had this conversation yesterday, where Arvis notes the barrels of gunpowder and says, "Hello, Malik, what a funny thing to find underneath a church," and we all sit down and we talk about it.
I don't like people looking around in my business. I thought it was time to teach a lesson. One I hope
it
was
was a
not
lesson.
missed.
No. Of course. Listen, what was the lesson? Of course,
Don't
we'd love to know.
snoop around my things.
It's it.
Yeah.
It's fucking it.
Yes.
I see why it is you might be absolutely blowing up an entire town to kill one person. You have no sense of scale. No sense of scale. You know what I mean? trying to teach somebody a lesson.
Reza
Mate,
is an incredibly dangerous
we're
individual
here
that has
to come and
escaped
talk to
multiple attempts of
bloke
assassination.
to bloke, all right?
You've met her. She's still alive. Did you feel at her mercy? Did you feel you had an option?
What are you talking
Yes.
about, mate?
She just had, a giant with her and an entire camp.
This one points at Atlas. Is correct about something. She's careful. So I go beyond. I put nobody's danger alive, not my own. No, nobody's life in danger, not even my own. Think it's foolhardy, think it's extreme all you want. But it was the plan. I didn't want it uncovered.
Okay, we can argue the proportionality and appropriateness of your blowing up Reedholme another time. What I think is somewhat disproportionate is capturing Arvus and keeping him in stocks for days, just because he looked at your barrels.
Well, it also presented an opportunity, one that I see has failed, and looks over at Grudel.
Dave, can I ask if they were around a table, like eating and drinking before we walked in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anyone just like still sitting down? Just
All
No.
of them are sitting down. Ilara's the only one who's
Okay.
got up.
Is this the most
so while
awkward dinner
Malik
ever?
is talking,
This is the most awkward dinner ever, yeah.
Pod would have walked over to like wherever there was a free mug next to one of them, sat down, grabbed
Yeah.
like a mug and drunk it, been like,
Let's say
turned
this
to
to
one, just been
Nalos.
like,
Just...
well, how's it going for you guys? And I imagine that none of them would have seen him in his
They all
actual,
seem
like,
ever so slightly out
furball
of breath
form.
upon getting closer.
So, but they would have probably recognized Pod the moment he opened his mouth, but like they wouldn't have recognized him in his form. I don't know who would have a empty mug or space next to them.
Yeah,
by
probably
chance?
Nalos.
So say this to Nalos. Just kind of cheers him and goes, "So how's it going with you guys?"
She's looked my breath
Sorry.
and goes, it's been a few days preparing. This is very tense, isn't it?
Very exciting. Have you learned about the blood magic yet? That's my favorite part so far.
Pod!
No, you have to tell me. Malik looks over and says, fine, yes. I wanted to spy on you. I was worried you'd beat me to it, and I want to win. I saw an opportunity and I took it. What do you want to do about it? Have me apologize?
No,
I'm sorry.
you didn't mean that, but that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out if we are going to work together when Razor arrives. Can you be trusted? And the resounding answer, based on your actions, feels like no. But I'm willing to be convinced.
The resounding answer is I will do whatever it takes to kill Razor.
How are you planning on luring her into the town?
Bait.
In the form of...
Well, there's been one candidate who's proved himself fairly useless over the past couple of weeks. I thought I'd send Vazul to kill some of them and then hope that he manages to dive into the water before the explosion goes off.
Hope that he... well...
Call it a challenge.
And were you planning to work with us in our plan to draw her into the town and...
I wondered if you had any good ideas. If you were capable of moving her into town and killing her, then I could watch back from afar, and if it goes wrong, tell everybody to run.
She's planning to meet all of you, so... we'll be there. Wherever you are.
Maybe.
You said it yourself, she's cautious and she's leading a good host of bandits and other mercenaries. She won't be coming to the town for your trap. She'll send all of her men.
She spoke to us personally. She seems to like delivering her messages. You do not have the advantage we have in that we have actually met her and seen her uphand. She is cautious, but she's also confident in her own ability, her own standing. If she felt the need to address us in person and allow us to run rampant around her camp, see all her secrets, I imagine she will indeed personally come to see.
Good, then we're agreed. We'll be able to get her into town.
If you're not in town, she won't be there. So maybe we use you as bait, Malik. If you're so confident in your plan, maybe you put some skin in the game.
My skin is in the game.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, pardon the phrase.
I won't.
Honestly, if we're not blowing up civilians, I'm more comfortable with the lacing barrels throughout the town. But I really do think we can just fight them. I don't think we need to destroy Reedholme, the centre of the Stormlands, in the name of you getting your prize. What's the point
Besides,
of ruling over ashes?
there are other towns. Fine. Fine. Clearly, whatever few attempts I have made so far have not gone as planned.
Mate,
So we'll
don't
stick
beat
to
yourself
yours.
up about it, mate. We could blow up one building, you know. There's no reason.
Not
we
some
couldn't blow up a
pyromaniac.
single-
I don't need to blow
Ah,
somewhere up.
no,
Low
not in
level.
the interest of pure fun. I mean, as part of the plan, there's no reason why we couldn't have something of an ambush, booby trap of some sort. There are ways.
No great arson, yes.
Fine. Then the plan is we head the bait, you're in the buildings, and you attack.
I have another bait suggestion. Malik, do they know about, he kind of looks Malik in the eyes, alternative loyalties in and around your group? A very heavy-handed Corin reference.
No.
Well, I have an update on that front.
Corin
Thought you might.
stuffed in the bag.
Kicked nay in the bag nay.
I see.
I
Just
mean,
a
no, he
limb hanging
doesn't
out the
say
side.
that.
No, that's our character.
I think maybe he'll like turn away from the enemy party and just mutter to Malik, yes, we're just stuffed into our bag. You don't know why that's relevant, do you?
I appreciate it. I appreciate that's an inelegant solution. Gonna string her up from the top. What is
No, the bag thing is relevant because I can reanimate her and send her back in and use her to put her in.
Curious. Curious. This is us even. Yeah, maybe.
That's how we get her into town.
And then we jump her.
And then we jump her.
I don't like uncertainty. Jumping her is. We could lose.
That's the
Why
funny
would we
thing
fight
about it.
fair?
Our lives are just a roll of the dice.
I don't like fighting fair. Ever.
Me either. But
So, how do we tip the scales in our favor?
this is a group ideation session. Everyone, how do we tip the scales in our favor? There's no such thing as a bad
Alara's like,
idea.
we could get all the town involved. We could all ambush her, working together.
Oh yes, I believe Bran said he would supply men and support. We can indeed incorporate some of your desire for incentive devices.
If we manage to lure the bulk of our forces either into the swamp or into an area with barrels, might be able to get rid of a good amount of her fighting force. or delay them.
Not like it. I suppose the question for all of us is, what of their motivations? What would make something you could constitute fate?
Well, I imagine we send in our plan, our goal, as it were. We tell Fraser via said that we are and easy to meet. We'll town's private expert. Corin scoped it out. Fences we done. We're not etc. etc. So our guard. Or Razor in. We use incendiary devices on the rest of her. Find her. It's where we all jump her together.
Okay. And if it all goes wrong, at what point do we abandon ship?
I would say if they start casting ritual magic on a scale hitherto unseen in Lakai, I think that would be my point. Jump ship.
Yeah, if you see any blood sorcerers, you wanna kill them as quickly as possible before they start disintegrating people.
Paul nudges Nalos and he points and he goes, "Blood magic, tell you."
Nalos takes out a note, starts writing it down. The ritual shaped like what? Yes. Very well. I will need some time to consider.
Where is
As I'm
Susan,
sure, will you?
by any chance? Have you sent him on a ritual humiliation for his repeated failures, or?
Lugging several barrels of gunpowder to some other place. How exactly did you escape? Looks over at others.
You left the door open.
That's pretty all coded, to be honest.
I'm beginning to
Except
think I was baited in my first round pick.
I'm sure he's good at something. You just need to stretch the limits of your imagination to find it.
Not as Kara.
Good.
Fine. Well, Lara. Lara's like, I'm going to believe the best in you and that you were going to let people out and that we are going to do this together. Reedholme just looks at Lara and says, they said I could join your Malik looks down, looks at Reedholme, looks at you, each one of you. Is that so?
He feels somewhat mismanaged, I must say.
No. Reedholme over here.
Reedholme, come.
Reedholme like looks at you hopefully as if you're gonna stop it. And when no one does anything, he kind of hangs his head and walks over to
I'm gonna lean over to Toad and just be like, I wonder if this is some sort of weird, master pet thing, but like reversed because the cat is ordering the person around.
Wait, where's the cat? Wait, sorry. No, I misunderstood that. Wait, are you talking about
Grudel and Malik.
Okay, sorry. Wind that back. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I feel
See
like
Malik
Quan
doing a
being
small
a good
kick.
person, Quan being a good
Quan
person,
might be, yeah.
would have objected and would have told Alara to object.
Okay. Quan's as Malik goes to kick Reedholme, you see Quan's like armored leg stick out and block it. I'm gonna pull back Reedholme for a second. Alara says, no, that's fine. Reedholme, you don't need to be on a team. You can be on your own team. Do what you want, Reedholme.
Why don't you want to join us? I thought we were friends.
No, I don't. He said I had to go back, and none of you stopped him.
Well, we're stopping him now, aren't we? Look, Malik, is this a contractual thing? You picked him, but if you don't actually want him, since you sent him to us anyway, we can use him. I mean,
Well, I must
Except-
get one of you.
He's a free child. He
Want to
can join
trade?
us.
does anyone want to join Malik's?
Honestly, I think that we should just combine both teams into one big team, and that will increase our chances of beating Razor.
Alara says, "Yes, that's exactly what I said all along, Toad."
And then Alara and Malik rule the Stormlands together.
Ooh, like a marriage.
Like a
No,
marriage.
no, hang on, no. It's not part of the agreement.
You can become one team, the two of you.
But wait, don't both of you have last names? What would happen then?
I am a noble woman.
Oh.
I would decide. And I decide who I marry. It's not Malik.
But wait, which last name
Lumina.
would you take? Would you keep yours or would you take Malik's?
Malik, how do you feel about joining House Lumina?
Like I don't get paid enough.
Alara, would it be so bad to, marry Malik? Sure, you'll have wake up to hairballs in your bed, but I'm sure the back scratches will be amazing.
Insulting as this whole conversation has been, I'm going to go and reformulate a plan that was months in the making.
That took you months. Oh,
What did it?
oh.
Do you know how difficult it is to source that much gunpowder?
You think maybe
No,
you might
no
have
idea.
jumped something a little impractical on your first.
Are you
You-
suggesting the plan wouldn't have worked?
Were you planning to walk over the mountains with all of those barrels? If you hadn't taken the
Yes.
risky route to catch up, you were going to walk over the mountains.
Carts, horses. I reiterate, I still believe my plan risk-free, puts nobody's lives at risk. We can all mock its scale, but when we're all fighting for our lives, raise a sword pressed against your throat, flick of a wrist, lighting of a match. Sit back and watch the fireworks.
You're very imaginative, aren't you?
No, not really. But I get stuff done.
Great, let's do it together. No backstabbing, Malik, please. You'd be very annoyed.
There's a fable, the scorpion and a frog. I get the sense, Casimir. I don't like to know your nature.
No, that's fair enough.
I intercepted a letter from you. For you.
You did. Are you going to give it to me, or do I need to take measures? Is it from my mother?
No. It's in your room.
That's very obliging of you. Thank you.
You've got a room, eh?
In your bed, your post.
We have a room.
Right.
Oh, good.
I also... Pod.
Hello?
I took the liberty of informing our mutual business associate of our new connection. I hope you don't mind.
You're gonna have to remind me of who our mutual business associate is.
I believe he's a member of your family.
My
Or
family.
a cousin. I can never quite remember your family.
I have quite a few. You might have to be a bit more specific.
Karin.
I was really hoping you wouldn't say that one. I'm to be honest.
What do you mean? Instead, the Essentia has made your family quite wealthy, has it not?
Well, I mean, my family, it's a big family.
village.
Most of the village. I personally have not seen much of that wealth. Not that I'd want it anyway. I'm not particularly interested. But
No,
yes, it
Pod,
has
mate,
made.
Pod, are you
gotta
rich?
speak. Yeah, what's going on here, mate? And also, can you speak up, mate?
No, I'm not.
You've gotta-
No.
Marvus,
you've
he's been
gotta
fucking holding
explain.
out on us.
What's going on here, mate?
Well, Toad, you can. I didn't. I had a bit of a problem with money in the past, due to a particular artifact that I found.
Maybe we should wait for
I
Toad for this.
usually
It
make
feels
when
quite
you
important.
find artifacts, you usually make money.
This wasn't the money-making artifact, I'm afraid. It didn't quite work out that way. But no, my village is relatively affluent, I guess. Yes. But I haven't been back there for long time. Very long time.
Right.
Was your cousin
You
Kareem
salt
single?
the earth, mate.
I mean, we were. It's a complicated story.
Well, who's looking to sponsor anyone? Hit me up.
I mean, if you want to talk to her, you can feel free. I'm personally not a big fan, but you know, she did somewhat kill my brother. It was less than
She killed your brother.
less than ideal. Yeah, it was an awkward time.
That is less than
feel
ideal.
like-
I'm sorry to hear that. I
I
feel
feel
like
like
I'm
we're
just
learning a lot about people tonight.
scuttling into terrible trauma and casual conversations. I just
The artifact was referenced Toad that was causing Pod to lose all of his money.
Oh wait, sorry. This is a conversation I probably should have been here for.
That was
Yeah, that's why I
unfortunate
paused
timing.
it.
Sorry,
They're
I had to go
asking me
get the
about
door.
money.
What happened? What did you say?
They literally just said that I did have some money, but I had a particular complication that meant that I didn't have any money ever.
Oh, okay. Is that all you said about it?
That's literally all I said so far.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
No more context.
But
And I
you
just-
could back up.
he
that
just
was
said
a
that he just
thing.
said, Toad, you know the artifact that was causing me a bit of trouble.
Oh yeah, that was awful. So glad you're not affected by that anymore.
Yeah. So no, personally, I'm not holding out to anybody. I don't have any money. And at some point, I did have a bit of money, and I gave it to Arvis because he asked me very nicely.
Very
Oh,
kind
it
of you.
explains why you're as flash as a rat with a gold tooth, mate. And he gives a smile of a gleaming tooth.
I think that's you actually, but I guess that's a compliment.
Honestly, pretending to have money were the best 6 months of my life, but I spent it all on clothes.
Sounds a bit like my cousin.
I'll do it again, frankly. Well,
Yeah,
I'm going
well,
to go check out my letter, and Malik, keep us in the loop. Let's maybe circle back later.
You all look rather tired.
Pod kind of walks over to Tony and goes, should we talk about the artifact? Should I not talk about the artifact?
Um,
I'm not
Well,
very
it's-
good at keeping secrets. I'm sorry.
that's all right, but it is meant to be a secret.
So
So probably we shouldn't talk about it too loudly.
he does a really obvious wink. Yeah.
And gives you like an
And
awkward double
taps his
thumbs
nose at
up.
the same time. No talking about the artifact.
It's a secret.
Then he turns back to Alan. So about that blood magic.
No.
Okay.
I'll
With you
join
guys,
in that conversation if they're talking about blood.
yes, with you guys retreating. Obviously, looking at the time, if we take a quick 5-minute break, if we're back at
5 minutes.
back at 9:30.
About run
that's-
fast.
Okay. Oh, okay. 25 past. 10-minute break. Everybody gets back. Yes. everyone
Wait,
gets back.
25 past?
25
but-
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was confused.
We're all confused.
21:35.
Yes. 21:35. We'll be back for you guys to have dinner, give away all the secrets, and also get ready for tomorrow.
Alright.
What good is a secret if you don't tell
final
everyone?
break. Bye.
Bye.
Hello,
Ah.
everybody.
Hello.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are live. The group have returned to Reedholme. They have confronted Malik and to some extent got some answers to their questions, but probably not all of the answers they needed. They have, however, perhaps agreed on a joint plan. and are taking this opportunity to rest and recover and sleep before the next day. However, of course, there is more to talk about. So currently, Atlas and Pod are in the dining room, chatting away to the other group. Casimir has presumably gone to find the letter. Arvis, what are you up to?
Smoking a fucking diary, mate.
All right. Ilara and Quan probably have sat down to eat as well. Toad, I would probably say doing the same. Casimir, I will take you upstairs, and you do indeed find a letter bearing the seal of House Montague.
Does it show signs of being
Opened.
opened?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Does it say?
Dear Casimir, I find myself at a loss of words, a rare occurrence as you know well, but these recent events have left me bewildered and deeply concerned. I must inform you that my mother has dispatched men to the Stormlands to search for you. What in the 9 hells are you up to? I need not remind you of the precarious edge upon which we currently balance. I implore you, Casimir, for the sake of the memories we share, to tread with the utmost caution. If there is any aid I can render, any assistance you require, that does not place my own position in jeopardy, you need only ask. I cannot, however, shield you from the consequences of action that even I am at a loss to comprehend. Why on earth did you make was it so obvious that you were assuming my name? Please, old friend, enlighten me. With concern and enduring camaraderie, Ivor Montague.
Casimir looks up and he kind of mutters under his breath, "Well, I know I'm in trouble because he's called me Casimir, not Crossley." He'll hold it, I suppose, and probably write a reply. Think on that one.
Okay. The rest of you. Toad, what are you up to? Having dinner? Have you gone to bed?
I don't remember the context of what happened before break.
Okay, it was basically you kind of decided that you were gonna regroup and go to sleep, but half the group is sitting chatting to the others. Some have gone up to the room. Toad eat.
Is this the same day that I got rescued from being kidnapped, or have we camped along the way?
You camped along the way.
Come back to me. I need to think.
Okay. So, as the night goes on, is there anything anybody would like to talk to anybody about, or would you all have a long rest and see how you feel the next day?
I mean, after discussing the intricacies of blood magic with Pod, and
I mean, admittedly, he only knows blood magic based on what you've told us, and also like a little bit on what we discovered.
Yeah,
So he's not a font of knowledge.
Yeah, I think Atlas is a little bit desperate for company though, so he'll take his opportunity. He'll take his opportunity.
Oh, then you got no problems there. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I'll just take this opportunity to talk about the rituals, how it felt like. I had a large pipette shoved in me and all my blood drained from my body, and yeah, just kind of go through the process of being killed by it, and kind of talk that through with Naliska and Pod.
Naliska?
Nalos? Not Nalos.
Nalos. Hopefully not Naliska. That would definitely be an interesting turn of events.
Talk about joint loyalty.
It's alright if I bring my friend along.
There is something Arvis would be doing actually.
Okay.
He would be approaching Malik to ask about a substantial amount of gunpowder.
Yes.
Well, it's not common stuff, man. Certainly not in those quantities.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, it's simple blood.
carpenter, joiner, fixer, a few things around the edges, but as a man who has to procure lumber, I often come across other sources of supply. Some legal, some less so, some obscure, some magical, some mundane. But, wait, how do you get there, mate? How do you come about it?
Well, some of it was sourced from the markets, Dominus. But you're right. Such a large supply, short thing. We had to converse with Horizon's Rest and Thugaloon.
I'm gonna write these down. Horizons Rest. And the other one was what? Thugaloon?
Yep.
Sorry.
You know that place.
I know that place. No, I don't know why. Like, no reason. I've heard of it once or
In
twice.
another life, lived there.
And DM, would I know where those places are then?
You'd certainly recognize Horizon's Rest. It's yeah, it kind of makes a bit of sense to you. That might be where it's coming from because this is the kind of capital or main entrance hall to the realms of the Dwarf Lords near the Cradle of Eternity. Very well known for rare minerals. Thugaloon? You don't know.
And what about Thugaloon?
Dominus, yes, central city, like markets there, huge.
Thugaloon, sorry, it's Dominus.
No, sorry. Three places mentioned: Dominus, Thugaloon, and Horizon's Rest. Three separate places.
Dominus. I know about Dominus then.
Yes, because that's the central city of Lukai, one of the largest cities. Where you're apparently from, or the peers.
Southside, mate.
No, your ends.
Trust me. Alright, cool. Don't know where this in done.
Would you like me to remind you on the map?
I know that. And if I'm not mistaken, good friend, it wasn't just black powder in there, something a little more boutique.
It's not for you, my love.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, something a little more magical. Ja.
Well, I certainly didn't pay for it. Are you saying there's something amiss with what I was provided?
Far from it, mate. I think actually, if anything, you've been given a rather good deal. Well, I don't know that for sure. How much would you pay per kilo? Sorry, in this world, per pound.
Outrageous.
Sounds so illicit.
Pouch 5e, what's so half a pound? 15 gold a pound.
And if, you're trying to curry some favour in the future with your supplier and recommend a customer, are there any names might be looking for? Who am I trying to procure this from? Is a carpenter.
Tell you what, Arvis, nothing's free. Would you like to owe me a favor?
I've had these conversations before. Why don't you just tell me what it is you want and then we can go from there?
I need to be the one that kills Razor.
This motherfucker.
I'm not asking you to betray your friends or kill anybody, but I want you to make that certain. Take actions in the next few days, in the fight be it, that ensure that me or one of my group land the finishing blow. and I'll tell you all you want to know.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, mate. It's not the worst offer. You obviously position yourself to make a quite incredible amount of gold. Whereas I learned the names of a couple of suppliers that, if I'm honest, I could tap my own contacts for in certain locations and extract it just as easily. I don't think what you're offering me here is, well, I would hate to use the word offer. Really, it's not even an offer.
You fear I've overplayed my hand.
Mate, you've not even played a hand.
Brutal.
I don't want to ever have to negotiate with Arvis.
Very well, Arvis.
Oh, I don't mean to put you under pressure, mate. Honestly, you could raise your stakes, and even then, I might not say yes. Just keep that in mind.
I want something. I want you to steal something from Ilara for me. A small thing. No one would notice.
Alright.
And return it. Call it a little game. Or I want you to steal something from Casimir for me. And return it. If you feel uncomfortable about Ilara. I want either of their signet rings. Consider it a challenge. Take it off their finger, put it back.
Go on.
Leave it with me for a single minute. And I'll let you inspect every barrel, find the name, and whoever supplied what.
Mate.
Arvis.
Mate.
Yes.
To summarise the proposition, you will give me a name, scoop of a few barrels if I commit the act of treachery against my own companions and potentially rob myself of my old gold enrichment. Do go ahead.
I'll allow you to inspect my barrels for whatever it is you're looking for. Clearly,
I don't know if it's a metaphor, mate. Come on. I hope it is, because at least there would be more on the table than just inspect your barrels.
Find the exact supplier that you need or want. There are several shipments down there. In return, I ask for a little game. Or do you expect me to just tell you everything?
Honestly, mate, I just... Coin of phrase, I don't think it's that deep. There was, something...
Yeah,
honestly,
no,
a piece
it's
of
a complete
information
sentence,
like this
Arvis.
would be something like 80 gold pieces. I think everything we've discussed beyond here is quite unfathomable. If I may be honest, and I don't mean to disrespect you, you're obviously a very resourceful gentleman. You obviously have a certain level of charisma, leadership, bringing people together. And from that, I will take my leave. Heard everything I need to. I believe the scale of this conversation is more limited than I anticipated. But I do bid you good day, sir, and let's hope we get that raise right.
Sleep well.
Eat yourself.
All right, there will be no theft against the party on this day. Offers always open, Arvis. If ever you get desperate.
Mate, too late for that.
Guys, we just need to jump Malik at one point and just kill him. I think that's gonna be the easiest. I think we just need to catch him by himself and we just need to jump his ass.
Nah, man, this guy's not got any gold on him. Listen to these shit propositions he's making. This guy can't make
Not for
do
gold,
shit.
just to kill him. He's shady
Yeah.
as fuck.
It's not worth it, bro.
Imagine if he was on your side. No, kidding. Casimir, how would you're rewriting the letter? Is there anything else you'd be doing? Okay.
I imagine I would have swung by the main dining hall if I heard the conversation about blood magic and Atlas's experience dying. Probably would have stayed a while and listened with great enthusiasm and interest. But really, I would have been on my way to visit Alara, in fact.
Yes. Ilara seems to have gone off the side and seems to be wrapped in conversation with Quan.
Then I will drop over to the pair of them and say, Alara, in the spirit of transparency, I told you my false identity probably wouldn't cause you a problem. That was rather short-sighted of me. I think a problem has been caused. I've had a force dispatched to the Stormlands after me. One assumes this will not be dispatched to Reedholme, but to Storm Harbour, and that there is some length of time. It would, I imagine, take some while to travel the whole way from Sacramar, side of the world. But just, like I said, in the spirit of transparency, openness, camaraderie. No.
Oh, well, they're coming by boat, yes?
I assume so. The seafaring nation.
It's at least a month away. I'm sure I'll talk to my father, but well, we'll work something out.
Ideally, I'm long gone, frankly.
Yes. Well, we might be done here anyway.
Right,
Then-
and we'll have you instilled as leader, and you can tell them they're banned from setting foot on the Stormland soil.
I appreciate you telling me, Casimir, but to send people so far, I mean, they must really want you there.
Yes, I imagine they really do want me back. That is.
Your service here will certainly. After tomorrow, we'll see what can be done.
I appreciate it. That Quan's on said, Quan, can you please make dinner? I whoever the fuck made rubbish. Turn back to
Okay. Everyone else, anything other than a long rest in your future?
Yeah, quick chat with Toad if Toad's around
Yes.
and willing to talk. Yeah, I suppose Toad, when you mentioned fighting as a child soldier earlier, yeah, I suppose I can relate to that. So if you ever wanted to talk about it, I just wanted to let you know that you can speak to me. I've had similar experiences.
Oh, is it common in your culture too?
Quite common. Shames me to say, but I took the easy way out and took to hunting for food and pelts rather than fighting bandits. It was never something that was easy.
Oh, wait, you get to choose between fighting and hunting.
Oh, in desperate times, everyone fights, but usually, yes.
Oh,
Were you forced into being a soldier?
no. Well, you start helping out when you're about 4 years old, and then by the age of 8, that's when you start hunting. So you're expected to
Four.
do both.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty much as soon as I was self-aware and able to walk, start helping out with the daily chores and, sound the alarm if any danger approaches.
As soon as I was self-aware, they sent me to war.
Toad, you are a. I'm gonna look Toad up and down. They look like a person, like a human.
Yeah.
Well, an interesting culture. It sounds similar to my own, but maybe a little bit more ahead of the curve on child soldiers.
Yeah, well, everyone has to help look after home, don't they?
Absolutely, I agree. And I think to that end, it's a good thing that you are alive for so long, so that you can do what you can to look after your home.
Yeah, I'm very thankful I've managed to live such a long and fruitful life. 29 years is quite unheard of.
Maybe when you return home, you could, I don't know, become an elder,
Oh, I've already been an elder.
Oh, you've retired from being an elder.
Well, you become an elder when you're 12, and you finish by the time you're 16.
I see. Well, what happens after you're an elder? Do you usually die?
No, you become a god.
So you're a god in waiting in you.
No, a guard.
Oh, a god, right? I was highly
I
confused.
also heard God as well, by the way.
So did I.
I kind of had gourd, like
Casually.
container.
You become so that you.
Yes, so
I
you
suppose-
you serve as a god from the ages of 16 to 20.
Right.
Hmm.
I suppose, they utilize both ends. The young for fighting and the old for fighting, and during the middle, you just live a life.
Oh no. You're set to work when you're an adult.
It's rough. Well, are you doing what you want now? I guess since you're not guarding, you didn't want to be a guard for the rest of your life.
Well, I stopped being a guard many years ago.
Right. Well, I'm going to awkwardly say, well, you seem like a good person, and I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're able to see more of the world rather than posted up at a guard station.
Thank you. You seem like a lovely person as well, Ascor.
Mixed feedback on that one. But I'm going to probably sit motionless in a corner for a few hours to recuperate for the day.
That sounds lovely. Hope you're well rested.
Thank you, you two. Whatever you do for rest, I hope you also get it.
Thank you. I will.
I will awkwardly shuffle away.
That was just a conversation between like two lizards wearing human skin suits.
At that point, Fazul trudges in through the door, looking incredibly tired, kind of deep scowl on his face, looks over at the table of happy people. Malik kind of looks with a wry smile. The rest of them kind of he goes, just drills out of a chair, slams down, grabs the nearest bit of food, and just starts eating.
Before
Eyes
he-
fixated on the food.
Eric Casimir will call out, "Oh, Saul, remember to close the door, or else someone might escape."
Flings a chicken leg at your head. Oh, I'll roll an attack roll, actually.
Was there a
Oi,
hit or
oi.
not? Kaz was just laughing. He thinks he's very funny.
Roll. Why did I? Oh no, that box is literally in front of me. Why am I? All right, we use not spin down dice. All right, that's a 17 plus whatever it is. This hits. It does smack you in the side of the face.
I think he's just like open mouth laughing at his own joke. just digitates the chicken juice off him.
Tiamat shits in my porridge once again.
Does she have 5 losses as well as heads?
No. See, you're successfully returned. Looks up at Arvis. Toad. The other one die or something.
Yes, terrible, very tragic.
My heart bleeds.
You're as insincere as I am.
Who's this one? Points at Atlas.
Hello, sassy ponytail man. I'm Atlas.
Kind of sizes you up for a second. Any plans this evening?
Oh, I think he wants to invite you to the spa.
The fabled spa.
For the last time, it's to spa.
To the spa, sorry. My grammar isn't quite what it should be.
You want to fight?
No, he wants to bathe with you.
He wants to take you out first.
Nah, he said he wants to spar, mate. It's been direct.
Listen, they're not mutually exclusive.
He wants to get hot and steamy with you.
I want to do none of those things.
But you just asked to spa.
Did this one receive a knock on the head or something?
Honestly, having learned what we've learned about Toad today, I fear it happened when he was very young, so let's not make fun of him.
Nobody wants to train. Suppose I will be going to sleep. Had a long, disappointing day. Looks at Arvis. Sorry, yes, go on, Alice.
I'll be training, just not with you.
Find me if you're after this. If you manage to live ponytail, find me. I'll fight you then.
Looks over. Fine.
Give me a name.
Wait.
Last person I asked for a fight, I didn't get their name, and I didn't see them again. You look like a runner to me.
Careful. It was only going to be a spa, but I will kill you if I have to.
Ha ha ha! Oh, I'm no stranger to death. I'll see you shortly after you kill me if you demand.
Well, I am a stranger to death, and I consider it a virtue.
It comes for us in the end. If you don't greet him like an old friend, he'll drag you kicking and screaming.
Isn't that the only way to go?
Yeah. If you're a failure.
But I look forward to you failing over and over and over again and greeting death like the old friend, whilst I run and kick and scream and live.
Well, hopefully you do.
And take whoever I can with me.
Your name?
Fazul Chamble.
Fazul. I was going to keep calling you Ponytail if you held on to me, but Fazul. Well met.
And yours?
Atlas. Dawnbearer.
Atlas Dawnbearer. Who has already died. Is that what I'm to infer from this parley?
You can infer what you want.
Scythe looks down. Trying to kill somebody today. It stands up and just walks upstairs.
Casimir's
Or at
going to
least
quite
that's Malik.
loudly say as he leaves, does he ever make friends? Can he do it? Just kind of openly to the enemy group.
Seemingly not. Nalos kind of laughs.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else anybody's doing? Okay, so you may all have a long rest. You may write it in. You're all asleep in various things. Your day breaks. Atlas, are you staying with the group or are you staying somewhere else?
I will probably go into the woods and just sit a bit out of town and probably just chill motionless underneath, like in the roots of a tree or something.
Okay. The rest of you sleep without the kind of sounds of the.
Actually,
Sorry?
before we sleep, I've thought of a thing I would like to do.
Yep.
So, I have keen mind, yeah?
Yep.
I saw the blood magic rituals what
Yes.
they used in town. Could I don't know, maybe use the evening to think deeply upon this. Think on things that I know, use the spell, what's it called? Like borrowed knowledge. Essentially commune with some dead spirits. See if I can hack together some thoughts. Coherent thoughts on the blood magic and try and understand what's being done. Not because I want to know what they were doing, but mainly I just hope it works.
Yeah, of course. If you want to take some time, I'd say you can roll an Arcana check. I don't know if you'll get any bonuses for it.
Yeah, the spell is borrowed knowledge. Draw knowledge from spirits of the past. Oh wait, just give them proficiency. I'll just make a Arcana check, but I'll do it role play. For the fun. Oh, that's really good actually. 24.
24. Okay. Obviously reading back, going through the spirits, looking at this, it's not a symbol you've seen before. You're not aware or familiar with blood magic. It's not in your repertoire. However, there are uncanny similarities between this. The source, you kind of differentiate, decipher what all of this does. It's you've got the sense that, I think we discussed previously, you've kind of got the sense already that this ritual is withdrawing the magical essence, the power of somebody's life force, soul, whatever you want to call it, and causing that person's energy to be stored in some way. However, that energy, when it's removed, is changed. It's converted into something. And as you get through it, you more look back at your own rituals, your own way of summoning, of converting people's life essence in some way, or recalling it, as it were. And you can't help but notice much of the beginning of this spell, formulaically, is uncannily similar to a lot of the techniques you've developed personally. In not way that you could extrapolate from it, because it diverges relatively quickly, but at least the initial steps, you both seem to be addressing the same type of energy.
So with an aim to be a power-hungry mage and figure out how it works, I feel like at least the beginning steps of some blood magic might come from it.
Yes. At least you're certainly addressing the same, energy structure within. Now, as for the actual ritual itself, as I said, you probably the rest of it, you decipher it is storing the energy to be used later in some way.
Would that be an unwelcome surprise? For Casimir, is blood magic so taboo that to even him it would be oh yikes.
It's not taboo. It is taboo. You're a bit I think to Casimir it's more of a you didn't expect, because essentially it's not the same. Blood magic is not the same as blood magic is not the same as necromancy.
Mhm.
Generally, necromancy is a whole stream of magic to deal with kind of, healing, animating, but it's not really dealing with that particular side and is more powerful. I'd say Casimir probably finds it intriguing more than anything else.
Yeah, my unique brand of necromancy. Standard fair necromancy.
Well, at least seemingly this is the first time you've seen blood magic, and there's that same addressing a similar energy. It diverges quickly enough that you're uncertain, but you imagine there's some pattern or some level where you can continue down a path, or there's some middle ground here that interests you. What happened if there was more along one path?
Would this be the first time I'd seen something kind of similar to you, or even like
Yes.
cool? Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone who finds him in the room is probably sitting with some spooky spirits worrying about for some while before he goes to sleep. Thanks. No further questions.
Okay. If that's everything from everyone, we'll go to the next day. Wake up, rise and shine. There are sounds downstairs of knocking, as what seems to be things being dragged along the floor. There's like sound of wood hitting stone. And I'll say whoever managed to go down first, you see Malik and his team are assembling probably at this point 30 barrels of gunpowder downstairs, each one kind of being soaked, or a lot of them have been soaked.
By 6 a.m. rising means I'll be one of the first done.
Sure. Yeah, looking at it, you kind of Malik's
Probably
son.
wake the whole gang up, to be honest, and tell them that we have prep to do for razors, so no sleeping in. Drag them all downstairs with me, whoever's willing.
I'll be sat downstairs probably already, having come in early morning. A little bit grubby and muddy from spending the night in the swamp.
Is waking up Arvis, Toad, and Pod easy?
Only if I've had my full 8 hours of sleep.
Pod's probably pretty heavy sleeper. It wouldn't be hard to wake him up, but he was definitely very asleep.
With Arvis, you'd hesitate because he would be like with his eyes vaguely open, completely still, like he's dead. And you touch him, his pupils would come.
Rise and shine, sleeping beauty. I have a bandit queen to lay traps for.
Oh, God. I could have killed you. Was that close, mate?
No, you couldn't.
Yeah. Not again, right?
It may surprise you, I've not died as of yet.
Hey?
No, I'm fully living. In the picture of perfect health, in fact.
Right.
You might assume a necromancer had a brush with death at some point, but I have not. I am entirely hale and hearty.
So you're drinking potions to keep your skin that tight, huh?
No, not at all. I'm just born really quite fortunate. I mean, of course, I look after myself. When I get up at 6 every morning, go for a run, train, face masks, the whole lot. I capped earlier, by the way. He's 23, not 20. Spry, supple skin of a 23-year-old. I forgot
Old
what
enough-
that's like.
I can't believe you capped.
Old enough to be a guard.
Old enough to... No, yeah,
Oh.
he is a guard. Approaching death, but not quite there yet.
You know, Casimir, mate,
Hmm.
you tell so many stories, I don't even know which ones are true.
I think that only works to my advantage, to be perfectly honest. So, thank you. That means I'm doing something right.
All right. What is it you're waking me about anyway, eh?
We need to lay traps for Razor. We need to make sure we're ready for her ambush.
And that the mention of traps, Arvis kind of like, okay. What did you have in mind?
Time to get creative. Come on, let's see what the others are doing. Can't let Malik set something that stacks the odds in his favour too heavily. I know he'll try it, so we need to make sure we're ahead of him at all points.
Let's get to it, mate.
Work with him, but whatever it is we do, do it better.
How does it work with gunpowder? If we take Razor out with gunpowder, does it? Who's powder? Who's fuse?
Well, we'll have to argue that in the court.
Glad you're on our side in that case, mate.
Same to you. I think we'll have that one covered. And he'll head downstairs to find the gang with the party info.
Okay. Everyone else. So, aware that much of this day is probably going to be planning. Do you guys want to roleplay it, or do you want to talk about it out of session?
I wanted my brain to be on fire.
Out of session, sorry, out of roleplay.
Out of session, where no one can see
Out of
it.
session.
We have the perfect plan. I swear.
Oh my
It's probably worth just recapping what our OG idea was, right?
So your original plan was is to basically use the other party, wait for Razor to contact them in some way, get Razor to come into the center of town, and then ambush her. It's relatively simple as that is. Now, your current plan has been updated to in some way include Corin.
Yeah.
And to use the gunpowder to kind of destroy the rest of Razor's forces.
So get Corin to lure Razor in, tell her that we don't suspect anything, everyone's just chilling, vibing in the square, it'll be easy. They don't expect shit.
Yeah. And to your understanding, Corin didn't tell Razor. Just the reason Toad was kidnapped was to stop Toad revealing Corin.
Yeah.
However, there is Andoxol, who is currently not here. So I think you probably, it's probably dawned on you all that you probably want to use Corin to see whether or not the jig is up, as it were, and then if the jig is not up, to continue with your original plan. Okay, so unless there's any revisions to it, we can assuming that's the plan, and it's basically
we
yes.
wanted like Bran from the town guard involved, and like I think we convinced him to take arms and help out and help lay an ambush in the main square, right?
Yes. Okay, so we'll deal with that, and we'll assume that unless there's no major revisions, Bran and the town guard are going to empty the town in some way, but still kind of be doing patrols and making it seem obvious. Not obvious that that's happened. You're all going to be in the town square, ready to ambush. The others are going to be the bait. Corin is going to go and meet with Razor when Atlas or whoever's scouting realizes she's close.
Yeah,
And maybe
I
looks
have
at
to
the thing.
be within a mile of
Excuse me.
Corin. So
Okay.
I think we'll need
Cool.
to do some relaying and stuff, but yeah.
So Atlas, so if Atlas is going to go and basically scout for Razor,
Yeah, I can spend some time like in the Swan,
Cool.
out of town, keeping an eye.
cool. So unless there's any roleplay anyone wants to do, I'm going to say we'll fast forward until basically around that time that Atlas returns with news that Razor is close within that time zone. So anybody else, anything you're doing to prepare, anything you would like to roleplay, anyone you want to talk to, anything you want to do within the town.
I want to feet them.
My day.
I'm not leaving until my feet.
Raining and being sniffed.
Fair enough.
Good nature.
Okay.
Just talking to everyone. Very friendly, to the point where could I maybe roll some sort of a charisma roll to see whether I get, by sheer friendliness, I get any information more than I normally would have. I mean, this
About
comes
the
at the
town,
cost.
or
Just whether it be around the town or in the equivalent
Sure,
of the
we can-
tavern that they don't have anymore. But I mean, in return, I will be giving over most of what I know.
to everyone in the town. Just
No, anyone who asks, yeah, pretty much. Unless anyone
Sure.
stops me, but yeah.
okay. I'll deal with that. We'll work out what we are. If you just basically make the roll esky, and I'll decide between now and then the next session what we are. Because obviously, if we're doing Razor arriving, I will need some time to prep and everything else. So
I
basically,
did actually think,
Yeah.
the conversation I do actually want to have is I do actually want to talk to Saul about something.
okay, sure. Is that so? Atlas has gone off to scout. Toad is going around talking to people. Arvis, are you probably scouting out the best hiding places?
Scouting out some good hiding places, looking for places that might become good traps, if you know what I mean.
Yes. So I'll provide. I think between now and next session, I'll provide the battle map for the town square, and you guys can tell me what you're doing. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Toad, what are you up to?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Can come up with some ideas we can talk about between now and next session. Casimir, you find Fazul trying to keep some distance between him and the rest of the group. Probably at this point, either with a training dummy or polishing some armor. Next, you come over like, come on, out with it. Humiliating comment if you got next.
No, I just wanted to share some information. Seeing as you're the only other person that knows, we killed Corin.
I regret I wasn't there.
Well,
Good.
you might get another shot at it tomorrow. I'm going to use her for a reason.
I'm going to need some explanation behind that. You're going to look like her, or...?
No, I'm going to reanimate her corpse. Have her walk over to Blaze's camp, tell Ray's not expecting a thing, that you won't know she's coming, but with here, etc. Going to lay the groundwork for the ambush for us.
Is that something you're capable of?
What do you mean am I capable of it? It's bread and butter, it's
Magic's beyond me. Sure.
It's a
Sounds like a
talent
good plan.
unique to me, if you're asking if it's something difficult. It is. Only I can do it. But I wanted to tell you, just so if you see Corin and you get any funny ideas about traitors and what have you, just know who's on our side this time. By force.
Right, so don't chop the decoy's head off.
Don't chop the decoy's head off. No. I would probably follow this up with a snippy comment about leaving doors on the past.
No, that would be in character, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I need to, though. That will be all.
Fine. Thank you.
You'd not spend time with any of them at all.
Not really.
Rudolph said you're very mean.
And Grudel's very useless.
He is, isn't he? Quite endearing, though. I like his songs, they're quite merry.
Sure. In the way that a puppy is.
Puppy's not a bad thing to have around, so long as you remember what
Not
it's
if
good
you're
for.
going into battle.
Disarming. It's not to hurt puppies.
I'm glad your threshold for nonsense is higher than mine.
Look, I'm not one for fun. I really quite hate it, to be perfectly honest. But it is nice. Spend time with people you're in allyship with. You know, speak to your comrades and foster some sort of camaraderie.
Do you expect to all stay working together after this?
You know, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I hope to gather allies in something of a quest of mine. What I mentioned before. The person I have to kill back at home. Having friends to do that with make it a lot easier.
Ah, so it's transactional. I understand.
Transactional, but also pleasant.
I'm not looking for allies. I'm looking for people who make me stronger.
That sort.
Not to achieve some goal. As a group. What I need to do, I need to do alone.
You're still describing allies.
Spot just standing behind him.
No. I wish I was there to interject. Like, honestly, it was such a moment.
I don't know if you know this or not, but
Lad, I just feel like what you've described is an ally.
just thinks to himself, takes a moment, pause, and goes, I'll think about your advice. Maybe going to dinner and laughing will make me somehow better at fighting.
You'll fight better with the people around you. If that wins you a battle, that's one you might have died in. Any advantage, Fazul, take it. There are advantages all around you. Even Groodle, sometimes.
Yes, as disarming bait. I'll let
As-
him know that one.
Even as disarming bait.
Looking forward to seeing your trick. Hope it's believable.
It's really quite good. It is her herself, not a trick. The person, personality and all, memories, same body, everything.
Good, I hated her in life. Let's see round 2.
Good chat. Enjoy your solitude with the training dummy. Who's that? Your evil family member?
Something like that.
Brother? Sister? Uncle?
How about the one you want to kill? Why don't you pretend it's them? Hit it.
We can hit it from different sides?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
fine.
talking about allies.
Fine, let's hit the training dummy from different sides.
Training dummy, cool. Training dummy, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll leave you two.
We will hit the training dummy from different sides.
Someone get back shots in on that training dummy.
Okay. I'll leave it for the session. Given I have a lot to prep for next time, I will talk to people. We will leave it there. If there is nothing else, thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate it. We will be playing next week, but probably not the week after. And then we'll discuss the rest of them.
Yes,
Thank
we've
you,
confirmed
everybody.
not the 27th because 'tis the season. But next
Yes,
week we'll
indeed.
see you. I'd say it's a Christmassy session, but it's not going to be a Christmassy session because we're going to be fighting a bandit and blowing shit up. That's not festive.
For Christmas.
For Christmas.
Cool. Thanks everybody for
Thank
just
you,
seeing the memes.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
bye.